So here we are. I'm Crazy D, and this is
Tracy.
And we're here today. We're going to talk about Spike Lee's Blackkklansman. So, this is a period piece. Afros and bell bottoms are abounding for sure. You know, just the way I like it, afros. Alright. So, Spike Lee takes us back in time to tell a story that's based on reality. Something that actually really happened in the fight to fight against white supremacy, racism. Now, what's funny about the film, we're introduced to the lead character.
Ron Stallworth.
That's right, Ron Stallworth. We're introduced to him, and he's already into what he wants to do. He stands outside and he pets his afro, and he says, I'm going to become a policeman in Colorado. Of all places, Colorado. So he says that he's going to become a policeman in Colorado. So the next time that you see him, he's already passed through the academy, and he's sitting in the briefing room, the morning briefing room, and somehow his career begins to advance very quickly. Would you agree?
Yeah.
His career advances very quickly, and what happens is they put him on a detail to detail Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael, for those who might not know the person's his actual name. All right, so he's put on this detail, and the story kicks off from there.
Which was a great scene.
Oh yeah, it was a really great scene, and you have to go see that because who plays that?
That's Corey Hawkins.
That's right, Corey Hawkins. He plays Kwame Ture, and believe me, the way that Spike Lee shot this, let's break it down as far as film technique is concerned. The scene when when Kwame Ture is speaking, beautifully shot. The intensity of the scene, it puts you right there as if you were right there. And
the intensity of the speech.
The intensity of the speech, it puts you right there. And there's some elements that Spike Lee uses as far as using low key and bringing images together that is just worth going to see the film. And like I said, the afros are abounding. Beautiful afros, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, so this is where the scene kicks off because he was the only black officer. They wanted him to wear a wire and record everything that was happening with this particular group of people because they didn't know if they were going to wipe out police or whatever. So they were really worried about this group right here, right? But he's sitting at his desk, and he happens to be reading through the newspaper, and he comes across an ad for the organization. That's what they call themselves, the organization. They don't call themselves the Klan. They don't call themselves the Ku Klux Klan.
So this right here is, well, you know, it's based on a true story. So what we're saying, you already know. So we're not giving out any.
We're not giving out any spoilers. I'm just leaving it basic for you, so you can understand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What we were seeing. So he goes through the newspaper and he finds this number and he calls it, and the movie kicks off from there. Believe you me, he puts on his best nasal. You know how we do nasal. Hi, how are you doing? Are you doing fine? I'm doing fine. I'm doing great. You know how we put on the names. Yes. Yeah, so, which the other movie that we reviewed a few weeks back.
Oh, yeah.
At the beginning of summer, actually detailed and...
Sorry to bother you.
Yeah, really detailed it, okay? Yeah. So, this goes on, and it is a well put together film by Spike Lee. He is, because Spike Lee's films, he makes you sit in a scene for a while to have you get the point of the scene. Right. But Spike Lee has also incorporated this microwave quick situation. So the intercutting in the film to tell the story, to speed the story up, excellent, while still relying on his auteur cinematographic tropes
because he uses. Yeah, you still see Spike Lee's style, but it's somewhat different. He's incorporated other angles, and he's using the lighting differently, and it's really nice. He did a really good job.
Yes, it's a really nice film. There is one scene though that kind of throws me off, and it kind of throws me off on the pacing. And you've seen this, so this is not a spoiler. In the trailer, there's an older man that said, "Shh, if I had known this was a Klan rally, I wouldn't have worked this." Okay. But there is a scene before that I thought that Spike had to put in there to show the, how could I say, the knowledge of this particular black man, but I thought that it was placed too soon in the film before that particular scene comes up.
And then what did I say? I felt that.
Go ahead.
I felt that it was placed perfectly, and it fell in line with what was going on during that scene, and it's really good. So we're not gonna give too much away. But this movie incorporates a comedic edge to it. Yeah. But it's all serious business, though. Right. We're talking about the Klan. It's all serious business. Do you remember the show that used to come on, and they show it in reruns now still, called Hogan's Heroes? All of the people who played in Hogan's Heroes, they had agreed when they first got the script, because it was about a concentration camp, and the men were in a concentration camp that was run by Germans, and all of the people who played the Germans and the people who were basically prisoners of war, all said that if the Germans ever got an upper hand in the piece, that would be it. They weren't acting in it. They wouldn't act in it anymore. So all throughout the piece, Hogan, though a prisoner of war along with his compatriots, always were able to get the upper hand on the commandant, Colonel Klink, and his bumbling head sergeant Schultz. They could always get the upper hand. And so this is what this film is about, and this is based on a true story. So just like Hogan's Heroes, and we're not playing, the Jewish people do not play with Germans. Black people do not play with Klan, with skinheads, with that. We do not play. That's why it's well written. Spike Lee did a good job.
Well written. There was never, I will say, there was never a situation where these Klansmen got the upper hand. And I'll say that. So it's definitely worth going to see, because there's no time to play with Klan, none of the white supremacists, none of that. None of that. It's no time to play. And so see this film. It's well worth seeing. And let's talk about how it's juxtaposed up against what's happening today.
Well, first of all, John David Washington did an excellent
job in this film.
That's right.
Him along with Adam Driver and the rest of the cast.
Okay.
So he did a good job carrying the film. And
the young lady who played his
she did
opposite,
an excellent job.
which was she's an opposite.
Yeah.
She's not a protagonist or antagonist. She's like there. She does a great job.
Yeah, Laura Harrier.
That's right.
Yeah.
So she did an excellent job. We should see more from her. She played that part, and within the middle of it, there's a love story.
Yeah.
That's what makes it good. It's a dramedy comedy. Less on the comedy, romantic love story, true life tale. That's right, Blackkklansman.
With a lot of black pride.
With a lot of black pride. So I have to give it to Spike Lee. Now,
also with a Hollywood legend in the film, we're not gonna tell you.
We're not gonna tell you. No. More than a Hollywood legend. This is a Hollywood. This is a legend. Musician, vocalist that is in the piece that tells a horrific story that must be seen. I would tell everyone to take their children. Oh, there we go. So I would tell people to take their children at a certain age. I would say about 14. Would you say about 14 and maybe 13? Maybe the transition 13 number. Take them all the way up to all the adults. You will be entertained by this piece, Blackkklansman. So pacing, excellent. Music, excellent. Matter of fact, what we love about Spike Lee is Spike Lee. If it's not so much she's got to have it. Not so much that it wasn't really. The music is always good in his Spike Lee films, but ever since School Days, he has always been able to find a way to have the musicality in the film and have a musical going on in the middle of the film. He's always found a way to do that, and this is no different. The scene where they're in the club and they're first getting to know each other, and the song that he chose to use is really beautiful. It's really beautifully done. Spike Lee all the way up.
Yeah, just like in Girl 6.
Girl 6.
It was a Prince soundtrack.
Soundtrack.
And just, at the end of this movie, if you're a Prince fan, you're gonna love it. So make sure you stay for the credits, because there's a song released by Prince.
It came from out the vault.
From the vault. Never
heard before.
Right.
And Spike Lee said that he felt and he believed that Prince wanted him to have this song, because the person who is over the estate said, watched the film and told him, he said, I have a song that is perfect for the ending. Speaking of the ending, loved the film, loved it. The ending,
it was good. I liked it.
The ending is
see, he just wanted more of the movie. It was so good.
No.
But it has to.
No.
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I have to say that because the ending, we are in a battle constantly. We're always in a battle as a group of people to always show that we are human. We're always in a battle. We always are trying to show, look at me, I'm human. Right. Don't hit me in my head. Right. Don't brutalize me.
And that's where he kept it real in the
slam,
film.
Don't slam 15-year-olds, police officers. Don't slam 15-year-olds on the ground. You weigh 250, 275, and you're slamming a 110-pound 15-year-old on the ground, causing them to have a seizure. Don't do that. Don't murder people in the streets and then call it justified because you're supposed to be afraid, when throughout history shows that the devils have been killing
black people all the time, and who should be more afraid than anyone? But then that's fear, because they feel that one day black people will do to them what they've done to black people, and that is farthest from the truth.
And there's a scene in the film that also covers.
It covers the end of the film. But what I'm saying is, and I guess that's why Spike Lee is a genius, because he realizes that he has to pull on the heartstrings of white folks, because white folks do not understand the plight of what's happening unless they see one of their own being victimized by the very people who victimized us. And that's the truth. And so there's no getting around that. So that right there, I was like, well, that shows the genius of Spike Lee, and I'm going to give it to him. But, we have to find a way to have ourselves, value ourselves that much that this will begin to cease and stop without needing to use the other to get the point across, to stop killing brothers and sisters. That's what I'll say today.
Right.
So other than that, how do you rate the film?
Of course, I would give it a 10 because it was well written, the storyline, a true story. It was really good. It was interesting the way because you're dealing with the Ku Klux Klan, right? So of course the angle is, okay, so let's see this movie. I know I'm gonna be pissed, but the way Spike wrote the film, you kind of the behind the scenes of the Ku Klux Klan and their idiot mind state, and so you kind of were able to see like both angles, the side of the cop Ron Stallworth, and then you have the undercover cop, and then the Klan. So it's just like crazy. I mean, it's just like, and remember, when you watch it, it's a true story. So when the Klan, when they explain the reason why they do what they do, you're kind of like, it makes no sense. So it's like getting into their head, which is just like nothing there. Like it just makes no sense. So the film is worth seeing because you're like, I can't believe people are like this, like stupid.
And let me tell you, so I give it a 10 also. And the most important aspect of the film is that it correlates to today. There's a scene in the film where one of the Klan people, which we won't say the name, you'll be able to watch it and see it. One of the Klan members says that one day, through our efforts, we will be able to have a president that will speak for us and speak our agenda. One day, it won't be now, but one day, as we keep on pressing this, as we clean ourselves up and take the robes off and put on the 2 to 3 piece suits, put on the smooth shoes, comb the hair and clean ourselves up, that one day there will be a president that will represent our interests and will be in office.
And who do we have today?
And so go see the film, because it's very important, because what we sometimes don't do, I try to do it more and more, is we don't make plans out. It might come from our religious thought process that, make plans and watch God laugh at you, and because of our religious thought process. But you have to begin to plan out 5, 10 year, 15, 20, 25, 30 year plans. This was a 30 to 40 year plan to make this come to fruition, and here it is. And we were, for the most part, sitting on our hands as a group of people who fought for civil rights, who did everything to try to make this society better. We were basically sitting on our hands because we didn't realize that every defeat they had, they said, okay, but we're still working this 30 to 40 year plan. We need to be working a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
because
30.
they talked about it in the film. They described the president they want, and we have them today.
And so this is it. And so don't think that, any of this, that this guy is a joke that's in office. The media is covering him as a joke because silently the media might be in on it. I think they are. Because as long as they keep on sensationalizing him, you don't see what he's actually doing to change these laws and mess up the advancements that were made. So do not take this man as a joke. You have to start taking him seriously. Take him seriously and literally. You have to take him seriously and literally. He is not a joke. It's not a joke because this is the plan to make it seem like you're that much of a buffoon, but get everything done, everything passed through. And have you noticed that everything that he's wanted, he's gotten passed through? So that's the message on the film right there, that this was a 30 to 40 year plan, and we were caught sleeping at the wheel.
And we give the film a 10.
I give it a 10. We give it a 10. Well worth seeing. It brings out some facts that are hard to stomach, and so that's the way it is. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to review Queen by Nicki Minaj. Yes. All right. So this is Nicki's what album?
Oh my God,
she has so many. Is this fifth?
More than 5.
It's more than 5? How many albums? Look that up real quick. We can take a second to look that up real quick. Because we reviewed the album, but it's been a while. When Nicki came out, we were in my retail establishment, in our retail establishment, Crazy D's Music Palace, when she first
I'll
came
look it
out.
up. Go to the #1 streaming company.
Yeah. Tidal. And we're gonna see how many albums she actually has, because once you get into film and you move from one type of entertainment to the next, you kind of miss and slip on how many albums people have. Things keep on moving where you will be actually up on it and know every aspect of it. It begins to slip on you because you're moving into a different entertainment line. That's just the way it is. But Nicki Minaj came out originally when we were in the retail business of selling CDs and DVDs to our customers. Six albums Nicki has.
Not including the multiple remix albums.
And not including the multiple remix. How many multiple remix albums does she have? You see this? It's called success, people. It's called a major success. Okay. So the debate rages on what is real hip hop versus what isn't real hip hop. The debate rages on, and we can rage on with it. But what real hip hop is, I can tell you, Nicki is definitely part of what real hip hop is.
Yeah, this album was sonically nice. Meaning you can put the CD in and just let it play all the way through and just ride to it, and it has a combination of everything. You have your hip hop and you have your Caribbean reggae type feel, as well as other songs, and as I call it, the one song that I like specifically, the LLC song, is I call it a southern syrup, because it kind of reminds me of 8-Ball MJG sonically sounding song, and Beats by the Pound, No Limit, and who else do you think that song?
It's definitely Suave House, UGK,
and
8-Ball MJG is Suave House, No Limit. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, just to tell the truth, the No Limit sound is what's really running hip hop right now. Other than Khaled all the producers are producing basically beats by the pound sound, sonic sound of what you're hearing, the doubled over hi-hat, the drum patterns. It's all beats by the pound. That's what it is.
And
but
her wordplay is nice.
But let me tell you, what I like about Nicki Minaj's new album is she's not afraid to try different things. Many times people in hip hop feel that they have to stay in one style. The beats have to be from where they're from, and it has to be that style, and that has to be represented throughout every song that they do. That's what I like about what Kanye West did with Nas.
And Jay-Z.
Always. But I'm talking about Nas in particular, because Nas is one of those people that I'm talking about that tries to stay true to Queensbridge.
Right.
And then the beats have to be an homage to the past while still trying to be updated to the present. So his beats are usually updated to the present, but it's an homage to the past. I got to stay in my Queensbridge thing,
Kanye did an
right?
excellent job.
But Kanye put him over instrumentals that expanded Nas's ability. His lyrical content is always there, but the beat selection is, because he's representing Queensbridge, is just slightly, for me, that's for me. So now with Nicki, she has always been a person. She's more like a Jay-Z to me.
Always.
Jay-Z, though he comes from Brooklyn, Jay-Z can listen to tracks and pick out the tracks that are just going to pound. He was like, a precursor to that was Tupac. Tupac could pick tracks and just would walk in. Like if you watch the Tupac movie, All Eyes on Me, when you see him walking in the studio, and you can imagine that's exactly how it was. He would walk in and say, "Oh, what's that you're doing? Oh, change that tempo, slow it down just a little bit." Boom, 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 boom. Then there he is writing, and he's just spitting these lyrics like that. So he was a great beat selector, and Jay-Z is a great beat selector. And then let's just say well, him and Beyonce, who is a great beat selector and style innovator and motivator. So you have Nicki, who has that ear, and so she's not going to just do what people say, oh, this is hip hop, this is what hip hop is supposed to be, and you have to only stay there, and that's the only way that you can represent hip hop, and that's the only way that you're real. That is garbage, because as everything moves forward, it's just like the original hip hop was breaking beats, and the people were saying, hoo-ha, and you don't stop. Here we are in the back of that again. Now, come on now. Are we in the people who really know hip hop? Don't you expect it to move past that? I mean, there are still homage groups that still deliver lyrics that way, but then you had the next era, which was Run DMC, that was kind of into that, flipping back and forth as a duo. But then KRS-One came in and brought a brand new sound, and if everybody wouldn't be happy if they were giving homage to the king. Am I wrong? Okay, but anyway. So then you got all the people. Then you have Public Enemy that brought a new sound, and then then all of a sudden here came California bringing a new sound, and then in between that, before they came, it was the Ghetto Boys coming with that sound from the South. Then you had UGK, Ball MJG, and now Atlanta runs it. Has been running it now for smooth over 20 years, right? So the sounds change.
We also had the Midwest.
Okay, the Midwest. We had
Bone,
Twister. We had Twister. We had Crucial Conflict. We got MGK.
Right.
Yeah, MGK.
Right.
Right. So
and then Kid Cudi.
Kid Cudi.
And then we have Big Sean.
Big Sean.
We have Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper.
Common.
I mean, so
Kanye.
Kanye. So it goes on and on. So it's a continuum. You're not going to hear it in the last part. This was always a debate in Cleveland about what real hip hop was and what it wasn't. I could always tell if people who were popping fresh into hip hop, they would say, well, hip hop is making original music and sampling is da-da-da. That whole debate about sampling came in once the racist white groups didn't want people making money off their record. But as soon as they learned how to help the people make money off so they could get paid off the record too, then they said, okay, yeah, use our samples. But before, so that's where that debate came in at. And you know, it's just really weird. Once they found out that they could make money off of it, you know, borrowing, they say, is the greatest form of flattery, but not if you're black and you're doing hip hop music. Oh, it's a scourge, it's a travesty, it's a disaster, it shouldn't be done, and all that. And so that debate about playing original music and sampling came in when they started cracking down, when the publishing companies and all that started cracking down. But really, hip hop has to do with the two turntables, the DJ, and breaking beats. Kool Herc, Grandmaster Flash, who brought it to the modern turntablism that we have today. You know, I learned that from Curtis Blow when we interviewed Curtis Blow. You can see that right here on Crazy on Dion, just scrolling on the page. When I interviewed Curtis Blow, and I asked him, could you say that Grandmaster Flash was basically the godfather of the modern sound of turntablism? And he said he never thought of it that way, but yes, because he was doing different than Kool Herc. But anyway, so back to Nicki now, since we have some framework here.
We're talking about her versatile style.
Yeah, her versatile style.
I noticed that with this album, she changed it up like a lot, because previous to this album, a couple of months ago, we were listening to the radio, and then another artist's song came on the radio, and he was like, oh, is this new Nicki Minaj? I'm like, no. And he was like, oh, well, she sounds like Nicki. So it started becoming a pattern of other female artists trying to sound like Nicki instead of them having their own sound, right? So Nicki switched it up with this album, you know, and like I said, that's what I respect and like about her. That's what I like about Jay-Z, is because Jay-Z is able to like switch it up. It doesn't matter how many years he's been in hip-hop. His stuff sounds current. His flow is current with what's going on today. So he's able to flip it, which is what makes him a great rapper, which is what makes Nicki a great rapper. She's not a cookie cutter image female artist. She writes her own stuff. She puts her music together like she's in charge of her stuff, and she's not like a puppet of the record label. So if you listen to her music, and if you've watched her documentaries, or if you've seen her in concert, you know what I'm talking about. So
her wordplay, her wordplay is tremendous on this album.
Right.
I mean,
she did some serious writing. She's a writer.
She's a writer. That LLC. Let's go through the song. How many songs does she have on her album?
19.
19 songs. Let's go through some of the songs that we like.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So one of my favorites. Well, I have a few, but Majesty. I like that one. That's with her and Eminem. You know, the wordplay on that one is crazy.
Now, you know what? But we have to give it to Eminem, because Eminem always seems to find a way to take the track.
Oh, see, that's what he said. Eminem did good.
Is that even possible for an MC to come on and take the track?
Well,
but what I like
Nicki
about
did it with Monster, with Kanye and Jay-Z. You remember
Yeah, right. So is that even possible?
Yes.
Yes, it's possible. But then Nicki shows you in the album later that she could have done it with Eminem.
She flips it.
Yeah, she flips. But you know, she wanted to leave that to be a showcase for Eminem, because you know they seem like they're cool like that. So what's next?
Another one of my favorites is "Thought I Knew You." It's a song with her and Weeknd. So
that changes up the style.
Yeah, it changes
That's
up
a
the
style.
That
That's a
one
style.
changed up the style. That one jumped out. That was like, I'm like, right now, that's my favorite song on the album.
She made The
actually.
Weeknd sound good.
Yeah, she did. Because Weeknd is okay.
I mean, The Weeknd, the second album, because he had a previous album, he was Overground, and then he had the second album, and then his third album. I was listening to it, the mix. I'm not sure.
But this song with her and The Weeknd,
it's nice. Go ahead. What else?
You liked the song with her and Lil Wayne is also nice though. The Rich Sex song.
Yeah, I mean it's good. Lil Wayne. I just wish that he hadn't gone through what he went through. That's all I can say. You can hear it in the cerebellum. Anyone who remembers the hip hop during the era when they talked about the cerebellum, the strength of the cerebellum, you can hear it. You can hear the strain and the stress in the cerebellum. You're never supposed to hear the strain and the stress in the cerebellum when you're doing hip hop.
And my thought is, I said, well, maybe Lil Wayne is trying to change up his sound. So I'm thinking it's a new sound and a new style.
But it's a good song. It's a good song. Keep going. What else?
Hard White. You like that song?
Yeah, that was good. She's flipping on that.
Yeah,
she's doing. I mean, would you say that she ever popped into Ronin on the album, or would you say that it's just different aspects of Nicki Minaj?
In certain pieces, Roman was there. In certain songs, you can hear when she pops in and out of, and then other people mentioned it too. Like the feed went crazy when her CD came out because everybody was talking about it in certain songs they liked, and Roman came up a lot in a lot of the feeds. So.
Okay, and what else we got?
Chung Lee. Well, we know.
Yeah,
that song.
we've heard that song, so
listen to it again because it's a good song.
Yeah.
We mentioned LLC. That one's like
LLC. Listen,
like a number one.
Wait,
that's up there.
That's like she needs to put a video to that because listen, my wife sent that to me on my phone from off a Tidal
yesterday.
She sent it to me yesterday so I could listen to it and listen to it. And I'm telling you, if it's one, there's always on a great hip hop album, there's always one song that's worth the whole price of admission. And LLC, for those who own an LLC, you know what I'm saying, that really means something. On top of the fact that she's just bringing this, and she said she took her name and made it an LLC. You understand what I'm saying?
She bodied a lot.
I mean, she did. Let me tell you. So when I'm sitting there, this needs to be a video. It needs to be very quickly. She is destroying on that record. And then what's next?
Good Form.
Good Form.
That's a good song.
Good song. What else?
Miami is a good song also. The one with her and Foxy Brown, Coco Chanel.
Yeah, that's kind of more on a reggae
that was nice.
Type hip, and then Foxy Brown is chanting on there.
Yeah.
And Foxy Brown sounds
real good.
Sounds real good.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't sound, it sounds real good. And then what else we got?
That's what we have.
Oh, that's what we have. So how many songs out of that? How many songs is that? Count that up.
Let's see. That's 10.
That's 10 songs.
And two are outros, or no, one is an intro, one is an outro on the album. So this the majority of her album.
I mean the whole album.
We missed the song.
Oh, what song is that?
Chung Sway. That's the one with her and Sway Lee from Race Runner.
Oh yeah. Definitely a different style on
that song
also.
is nice.
Yeah. So overall, her album is the whole album is excellent. These are the songs that stood out to us.
Right.
So when you get 10 or 11 songs out of a 19 song banger, you already got hits. 11 songs. Back in the day in the 80s, when albums would come out and they would last for 4 or 5 years before the next album came out. Thriller being one of the main ones that started that. Huey Lewis and the News, for those who know Huey Lewis and the News. The singles would come from off of that album, and if this was during that time, she would have 11 videos coming off of one album.
Because she has some other hits on there that we didn't mention because I'm sure you heard them already. Like the song with Ariana Grande, Bed, is on the album, which is good. And a couple of other songs like ballads, up tempo. It's an excellent album.
Yeah, but when we discuss hip hop, I deal with hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so the whole album in its totality for fans and non-fans alike, you're gonna find something on there that you like, that you're going to love. And like I said, LLC is worth the price of admission.
After you hear the album, you're like, okay, I want to go to the concert.
That's right.
Because she did a song with Future too that we liked. So we can add that to the list.
Oh, look at this. We got the nightlight because the sun is starting to come down. So this is what we're
going to...
song
called Sir.
Sir.
So that's another song we have to add. So see, the list just grows and gets longer and longer.
So go out, and if you have Tidal, make sure you have Tidal because it's Black owned. And you know what they're doing for the community and just the inspiration alone. Go out and get a Tidal subscription. And stream this album and stream it and stream it and stream it.
Because the plus to Tidal is you get a lot of stuff before it's released. Like, you know, like Nicki owns part of the Tidal too. So you get like a lot of early stuff and documentaries and concerts and like the Carter album with Jay-Z and Beyonce, which is an excellent album. That was released on Tidal before it came out everywhere else. And, you know, and then the same with like other artists who own a part of Tidal. So
because it's an artist-based, artist-driven platform, unlike the others. But however, if you have the others, make sure that you get this. Make sure you go to the store and buy the hard copy. It is a collector's item. The cover also is a collector's item. And, you know, if you like people who are true music purists, they like to read all of the credits, find out who produced what was used to make this record. That's what you are if you're a purist. If you're not, if you're the new generation, you just want to hear the music, make sure that you go out and purchase this album. Okay? Make sure you do that. And
go
make
to the
sure
concert.
That's right, and go to the concert.
Nicki,
and make sure you pick up plenty of merch. And last but not least, make sure that you go see Blackkklansman by Spike Lee. Well worth the price of admission. And I think this is where we finish up. Now listen. Make sure that you go check out Miss Diva. Diva's Comedy is on Vimeo. To own it is $9.99. To rent it is $6.99. Go there, rent it to stream it, or own it for $9.99. Diva's Comedy is a tribute to her father, Mr. E, and she embodies Mr. E, and she stands up with herself, Miss Diva. Hilarious. If you like blue comedy, you are going to love this.
Like blue comedy, meaning like the
Red Fox,
Moms, Maybelline,
Rudy Ray Moore.
Right.
All original jokes, though.
Right.
Not copied
Hilarious.
jokes. Original jokes.
Right.
Blue comedy. I love blue comedy. That's what I like. So
did we say Richard Pryor?
Richard Pryor. If the person isn't bringing out some blue, then they're really not really standing up for me. They're not really standing up. Okay, and then don't forget, Black Book TV is live. I'm the programmer. I program in different programming in and go. It's on 18.6. That's Digital Rabbit Ears. You go to the store, go to a store, get you a amplified, boosted pair of we have the GE 200 HD boosted amplifier rabbit ears, digital rabbit ears. You put it in the coax on the back of the TV. If you have a TCL TV, you're smooth. Roku TCL TV, smooth. You put it on the back of it. You scan the channels and you'll see 18.6. Turn it on. It's the only black owned television here in Las Vegas. And if you have anything to say, because you know sometimes we can be critics,
as well as seen in other cities, because he's gonna also be in Atlanta, right?
Atlanta. But you know we don't say it until I never say anything until it's hatched.
until it actually happens. Okay, so always remember that. So critics never live it, and that's what I'll say.
And also check out Bop TV. You're also on
that's
Bop
what I'm getting ready to get to that. See, that's what it is.
Yeah.
We are on Bop TV from out of Atlanta.
Yes.
We have the new channel on Bop TV. It's coming mid-August though. But Bop TV, the new channel. Shout out to Michael Campbell. First of all, shout out to Brian Harris from Black Book TV.
Right.
Now Michael Campbell from Bop TV. The new channel is Live. Lordland Intellectual Vibe Electric. It is grown folks TV. So viewer discretion is advised because the Black Ice Chronicles brings it as it really is. And we have a hodgepodge of various things that Crazy D has done, does, and will do in the future. You will see this on Bop TV also. Let's see what else. Is there anything else that we need to talk? Oh yes, always. Lordlandfilms.com. That's Lordlandfilms.com and Lordlandfilms.com/Lordland TV. That is the website where you can go watch what we produce and see it right there. Also on Vimeo, besides the Miss Diva, my films from the Black Ice Chronicles trilogy are up for you to watch.
And Miss Diva is also on Tidal.
That's right. She is also on Tidal. I didn't get a chance to get to that, to the music side of it, because also she has the stand-up special, but she also has the digital special, which you can go on to Tidal, Amazon, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, and also on YouTube, and actually listen to the album, to the stand-up album, and purchase the selections that you like from that. So let's see, is there anything else? Is there anything else that we need to say? Oh yes, Lordland Films is on Cox Cable. For those who can't break the coax, can't cut the coaxial, you take your Cox remote, push contour, select app, select YouTube, then search Lordland Films Influencing the Next Generation, and also Crazon Dion, CRAYZONDEEYON. That's CRAYZONDEEYON. And those are my two channels on YouTube where you can see different subject matter all day, all the time, with new selections going up almost daily now, because we're working hard to make sure that our people are seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. In the 7th season of the Black Ice Chronicles, we will be casting for that soon. So look out for the advertisements for that, for the casting call. So stay tuned for that. And so that's about it. We've done it. Is there anything else that you'd like to say?
Go see Blackkklansman
and
pick up the Queen CD
by Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
And we are done for now. Thank you for tuning in to the film review. Movies, music, culture, and whatever else comes to our mind.